They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up, and they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, what they thought about it. Because whoever thought of that idea, I think is in big trouble. They had a very bad original concept.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did, and back in those days, to show how things had changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, hey, Esther, you, off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off. Well, he came off, and he said, I'll meet you outside. My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate. And he said, I'll be waiting for you. He was waiting for 3 guys in straight razors. Not a joke. There's a guy named Bill Wright, Mouse, the only white guy, and he did all the pulls. He was the mechanic. And I said, what am I going to do? He said, come down here in the basement where mechanics, where all the pull filter is. You know the chain, there used to be a chain that went across the deep end. And he cut off a 6-foot length of chain. He folded up, he said, you walk out with that chain. And you walk to the car and say, you may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head. I said, you're kidding me. He said, no, if you don't come back. And he was right. So I walked out with the chain. And I walked up to my car. And they had, those days, you used to remember the straight razor. You'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel, get them rusty. And I looked at him, but I was smart then. I said, first of all, I said, when I tell you to get off the board, you get off the board, and I'll kick you out again, but I shouldn't have called you Esther Williams. I apologize for that. I apologize, but I didn't know that apology was going to work. He said, you apologize to me? I said, I apologize for that, not for throwing you out, but I apologize for what I said. He said, okay, close the straight razor, and my heart began to beat again.
Wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
Well, first of all, I should say something about how we came to be here and why we're doing this, and then kind of what we had in mind. Originally, the idea had come up of me debating somebody else on this topic, and that didn't end up happening.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt. They think that maybe, given all of the crises facing this country, it's about time that there was some bold leadership here and that this institution made some hard choices. Who are you worried about? I'll tell you who I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fact that our workers are seeing a decline in their standard of living. They want to see our industry be rebuilt. That's what they want to see. No more B-2 bombers. No more Star Wars. Let's make the quality products we need. Let's invest in American industry. No, I won't yield. I won't yield.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. Running against...
Even before you do that, and not even including that, that's why I hardly even included that number, although in one state we have a tremendous amount of dead people, so I don't know. I'm sure we do in Georgia, too. I'm sure we do in Georgia, too.
As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All. I am your host, the goddamn bitch, and I am here, and I'm a bitch. So that's the world that we live in. That's the world that I live in, anyway. I'm chilling, folks. I'm chilling. So, I would like to say that tomorrow I've made the decision that I will be doing a show tomorrow, but it will be shorter and it won't be live. I'm going to do a pre-recorded show. It'll probably end up being half an hour-ish. And I'll set it to premiere at the same time as the typical program, and so that way y'all can watch it together or whatever it is. I don't know what the hell. But again, tomorrow I have court, so I will not be here for a live show tomorrow at the regular time. It's just not going to happen. So there you go. Welcome to the goddamn folks. Welcome to the goddamn. Welcome to the goddamn motherfucking. Alright, so let's get our ducks in order. Got some ducks. They're quacking it up. So I'm going to get them in order so that they can quack in harmony. And, because quacking is a good thing. You love to quack. Huge fan of the quacks. So, yesterday was day 161 in our daily demonstrations over the police assassination of Andrew Brown Jr. in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, and Pasquotank County, North Carolina. We marched once again through downtown Elizabeth City, and we had people join us as well partway through the demonstration. We went all the way through downtown and picked up some people on the way. And it was a pretty good demonstration yesterday, I think, in my opinion. I'm going to turn my air conditioner on. It's getting hot in here. So I think we had a good demonstration. It was a good one, a fun one. And we were loud. We walked through downtown Elizabeth City. And it's bustling at this time, usually around 6:15 p.m. It's bustling. You got people walking around. You got people eating in restaurants. I know. There's supposed to be a pandemic going on, but, we live in Pasquotank County. And Pasquotank County has the highest COVID transmission rate in North Carolina. So people here in Elizabeth City, they don't give a fuck. Pandemic, schmandemic, I don't know. I'm just going to kill myself and the rest of my neighbors because I'm an idiot, is the typical way people operate here in Pasquotank County, but that's neither here nor there. What is here and there is the assassination of Andrew Brown Jr. We've been at it for 161 days, and that is a very long time. I mean, I know I say this every single day, but every single day it becomes more and more incredible to me at how long we have been doing these protests. So I don't know how long they will be going on. I don't know how long I will be able to participate. I don't know any of those things, but what I do know is that as far as I am able to, I will be participating. And it doesn't look like there is going to be any reconciliation when it comes from the killers that murdered Andrew Brown Jr. on April 21st. They're now going around calling themselves peace officers now. They're all doing this. They're now finally, after years and years and years of being cops, they're now finally getting training. You'd think you'd be trained how to do your job before getting hired, or at least at the beginning of your job. Maybe you do some on-the-job training, but no, not when it comes to being a cop or a peace officer in Pasquotank County. You just go up there, you can shoot anyone you want, kill anyone you want, and it's all good. Because Andrew Womble, the district attorney's got your back. But either way, they're finally training themselves. That's right, they're training themselves. They're not, and they're calling themselves peace officers, so rest assured. Also, again, the monument's still there. It's been 14 months since it was voted to be removed, and it's still there for whatever reason. They come up with a new one every single week. But again, Pasquotank County, a horribly, disgustingly corrupt county. The county commissioner board is disgusting, filled with a bunch of psychopathic ghouls. Ones that promote conspiracy theories that vaccines are bad, that they're ineffective. They promote conspiracy theories that masks are killing children and not coronavirus. It can't be COVID, has to be the masks. Jonathan Means says he's one of the county commissioners. He also says that critical race theory is the biggest threat to our children in 2021, so that's very logical. He believes the election was stolen, because he is a very smart person. And again, I can go on about all these people. Corruption. Just through and through, every single one of these motherfuckers, as corrupt as you could possibly get. Tommy Wooten, the sheriff, he thought he would be a small town little sheriff, that no one would ever know who he is. But again, I want to let him very much so understand that it is my life mission to know, or rather for as many people as I can possibly get to know, just how much of a bitch motherfucker this guy is. He's going out there accepting bows and arrows as gifts. He's out there pretending to be a crossing guard for photo ops. He's trying to get some positive press, and it's embarrassing. It's cringy, and the guy is a motherfucking murderer. So I have nothing else to say on that one. But we've been out here for 161 days, folks. Pretty intense, let me tell you. Just greet the fellow abovers. The goddamn abovers. Mike K, $3. Good luck in court in the goddamn. Thank you. I will hopefully have some good luck. Alright, folks. Alright, folks. Ooh. Got to get that seltzer out of my system, let me tell you. Let me tell you. So folks, I want to line up another segment here. So, as we all know, I respond to criticism on this show. I respond to comments, questions, and concerns. And I like to, you know, if you leave any sort of interaction on my show, I like you to understand that there's a chance that, you know, I will make a video about you. And in this case, I'm going to do just that. So I'm doing a follow-up to yesterday's video. Nancy Pelosi throws it all away, bails on Biden's agenda, and I'm going to like my own video live on stream. That's me. And so we got a very interesting comment. And so a couple people that follow the show responded here, and it became a very, very, very long, like, there's a lot going on. So I want to read this comment chain from Mad Ocelot God 81. Now, this is a Force the Voter, folks. As we all know, Force the Vote is the most pivotal strategy in the history of the world. Where you were on January 6th, how you felt about the election being, you know, like, purportedly stolen, and if you, you know, carried water for Republicans peddling that lie, whatever. How you feel about vaccines and ending a pandemic, that's whatever. But Force the Vote is the most pivotal issue in the history of the world. So I want to read this criticism here. And some of my followers engaged on my behalf. So let's read it. Glad I supported Force the Vote. Glad I supported confrontation with the establishment! Exclamation point. I'd sure be embarrassed if I was a public figure who did not. So again, what they're referring to is a quote-unquote, I don't even know what they even call it, like a strategy or whatever, that Jimmy Dore, a podcaster, promoted in December of 2020, with 3 weeks until the speakership vote. His strategy, if you can call it that, was to not vote for Nancy Pelosi and instead vote, you know, for Kevin McCarthy or someone else as Speaker of the House, and basically demand that they have a floor vote on Medicare for All. Now, they think, for whatever reason, that Medicare for All would pass. They're under the impression they would pass. Sometimes you talk to Force the Voters who think, oh, no, it wouldn't pass, but we would know who votes no on it. Okay? But that doesn't do anything, and we already know who would vote no on it, so it doesn't really accomplish much. Now, again, if you want to say that you want them to do it, just to be confrontational, okay. But it's not much of a strategy. And now we are in a situation where the progressives in the House of Representatives are actually doing a Force the Vote scenario. That's what this video that this comment is on is about, is them actually doing the Force the Vote scenario in an actually applicable way where they could actually get something passed. This isn't just a pipe dream fantasy world. They are actually using their leverage at this moment to try to get the reconciliation package passed. And that's not good because they didn't force the vote 9 months ago and give the speakership to Kevin McCarthy. But anyway, so we have some responses. M4A FTV was a ridiculous piece of theater that would not have achieved anything and has arguably made M4A harder to achieve. Anyone still shilling for it are the ones who should feel embarrassed. Now that sums up my opinion pretty well, but Matt Ocelot God, they're not having it. They're seeing through the DNC shills that follow my show. Nobody had ever made a convincing case for that outcome. We already knew, or rather know, that's not how it went down for the civil rights movement or women's suffrage. There's precedent. So again, they keep doing this thing where they go, oh, just look at women's suffrage. Look at the civil rights movement. Okay, are you forgetting the amount of outside pressure that was going on in the 1960s when it comes to protests, marches on Washington, etc. These same people that promote the force the vote conspiracy theory are the same people who did a big national march for Medicare for all where only a couple hundred people showed up across 40 cities. It was kind of embarrassing, and there was no organized strategy. There was no centralized strategy. They all just kind of devolved into various protests, most of them just turning into Free Assange protests. It was a little embarrassing. And when they did have House members come up to support the protest and the speakers, they yelled at those House of Representatives members and forced them to leave, saying that they're corrupt and evil. So the March for Medicare for All actually was embarrassing. And so now, again, during the Civil Rights Movement, there were, again, mass mobilizations of very organized protests and marches with very clear and simple demands. That is not the case right now in the Medicare for All movement. And so to make this analogy is just it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But again, we're going to go on. I'm pretty sure the civil rights movement and suffragists didn't fixate on one particular strategy for one particular occasion and talk of nothing else. That's true. The civil rights movement and the women's suffrage movement did have multiple different strategies, and these things happened because of a sustained effort. They didn't just try one strategy and then the next 5 years were like, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do that? 4 years and 3 months ago, you should have done this. And now they didn't do that. They focused on the future at all times. They tried to have slow, but very substantial and very consistent change and to move people in the direction that they desired. They did not harp on what people did 5 years ago or 10 years ago, because that would have been stupid. But Man Ocelot God responds, we don't either. Now, I don't know what that means, but they don't either. So, now, Mad Ocelot God, seemingly, now, again, seemingly, they are living in a fantasy world, because they're under the impression now, again, I want to be very clear, I have not read any of these comments. This is my first time reading them. So, Mad Ocelot God says, we could have been rid of Pelosi if the tweet squad had a spine. It would have achieved some momentum, for one thing. Instead, the left has zero momentum. That's not true. Right now, we are in this big infrastructure reconciliation battle, and the progressives are on the side of the president, and the president of the United States is supporting what the progressives in the House are doing. So to say that the left has zero momentum means that this person lives in La La Land. They're a conspiracy theorist. And that's really what it boils down to with Forced to Vote. They're all conspiracy theorists. They do not actually operate in the real world. There's very little difference between QAnon and Forced to Vote. And if you want to hear me go on about that in more detail, you can search my channel for that. I made a video about that. But again, this person is under the impression that they could be rid of Nancy Pelosi. So you want Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House. Name another possibility. If so, Nancy Pelosi isn't the speaker. Who else would have had a good amount of votes to become speaker? Would it be the Republican candidate or some third candidate that would get 2 votes from Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib? How would Nancy Pelosi not be speaker right now? In this person's fantasy world, they can't actually explain that. Maybe they can. Let's move on. So, and what would be the alternative to the Pelosi? Andrew Kohler says. Susie M says, no, we'd have lost the vote, and that would give those opposing M4A the momentum. The continued hysterics would have given them more weapons to use against us. Allowing Dore to be your spokesperson was also particularly damaging. As for getting rid of Pelosi, what would have been the outcome if you had? All right, good question. So Mad Ocelot God responds, someone less entrenched, so therefore not as bad. Hopefully the tweet squad wouldn't have been scared of a replacement. What? So Kevin McCarthy. That's the only other option. Bullshit. Voting down M4A would definitely make the establishment Dems far less popular and vulnerable to primaries. So the same group of people that want to push the People's Party and to say we don't need the Democratic Party are the same ones wanting to primary Democrats. Do you want to primary Democrats, or do you want to go to the third party route? Interesting. You liberals. I'll read the comments from my viewers. How? There are so many contingencies that your statement is meaningless. As for Pelosi, who else would be there to replace her? Very simple question. Your continued attacks on progressives is not going to get more elected, which means no M4A ever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I agree with you, I'm just saying. But Could they realistically have gotten a more progressive speaker via the force the vote tactic? It's a simple question. How would they have gotten anyone besides Nancy Pelosi and Kevin McCarthy? Unless Matt Ocelot is endorsing Kevin McCarthy for speaker, which is very possible. So they respond, you liberals keep pretending that it was a complicated situation and likewise try to pretend to be smarter than force the vote supporters. Now again, I am an anarchist. I am a communist. Right? I am way, 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 way to the left of probably any of my viewers. I don't think there's a single one of my viewers that is to the left of me. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't think that there's many, and if any, podcasters or, YouTube people, that are in this space that are to the left of me. I'm going to be honest. There's maybe a couple, but not many with YouTube channels. So I'm going to be very clear. When this guy calls me a liberal or my followers a liberal, what that means is anyone I dislike is a liberal. They think that they've somehow maxed out on the far left spectrum. They think that force the vote is the furthest possible left. Anarchist philosophies, mutual aid, organizing, unions, whatever. Protesting, who cares? Really, the biggest way that you can symbolize that you are a left-winger is by supporting or having supported a specific parliamentary procedure in January of 2021. If you didn't do that, or maybe you're 4 years old or whatever and you couldn't have, and then you grow up and you're 30, and then someone says, did you support force the vote? And your response was, oh, I was 4 at the time. Sorry, you can't be a left-winger. You didn't support force the vote. So, Catherine Elizabeth in the chat's like, oh, I'm to the left of you. Yeah, okay, buddy. Sure. Fine. But either way, this guy is a fucking moron. So, I already read that. Versus bad and unpopular Pelosi, we would fucking win. It's simple. Pelosi is actually not unpopular. She is unpopular among the people that think she is unpopular. Anyone who's to the left of her and to the right of her don't like her. But she has got a very large chunk of support in her district and within the Democratic Party. So if the goal of Force the Vote is to gain power within the Democratic Party, going against Pelosi in that fashion would not have been a winner. And also, they wouldn't have had the political capital that they have now to be in a situation where we can get this reconciliation package through. You have no solutions. What's the next goal to push toward? The reconciliation package. Again, this comment is 10 hours ago. Right now, this week, the biggest political battle all year of the Biden administration, of the entire presidential administration we're currently under, the biggest political battle is this week. And this person doesn't even know what's going on because they're stuck in January of fucking 2021. It's bizarre. So Susie M responds with, I am not a liberal. We don't pretend to be smarter and better informed. We are smarter and better informed. That's correct. That's very correct. So Matt Ocelot responds, we don't know who would have been the new speaker. You don't know? So you're advocating for a strategy and you've only... So, okay, my strategy is I'm going to cross the street. Well, are you, like, it's really... I'm on a highway and I'm going to cross the street. It's in rush hour. There's so much traffic. So what's your strategy? I'm just going to cross the street. Are you going to get to the other side? I don't know. Are you going to get hit by... I don't know. I'm just going to cross the street. What's going to happen after you step forward and there's, 40 cars driving at 60 miles? I don't know. I'm just going to walk in the street. See what happens. Again, these people are not serious. I don't, like... Do I need to read the rest of this? I mean, Lord have mercy. And then Nicole A comes in, goes in. And, oh my god, 6 minutes ago. This motherfucker. Yo, I can't with this shit. This motherfucker posted a comment 6 minutes ago. McCarthy would have only become speaker only if Democrats voted for him, which wouldn't have happened. It's crazy how many people still don't understand. Okay, the Republicans voted for McCarthy. If you're saying to force the vote, the House, right, which is in the, like, the House progressives, which are in the middle, would have to vote for someone that's not Pelosi, right? That means they would join the Republicans and then give them the majority with having Kevin McCarthy as speaker. This person literally doesn't know what they're talking about. That would be like if you're working on your car, let's say you had a flat tire, right? And I'm walking on the sidewalk, I come up, it's like, oh, you have a flat tire. Well, let me help you fix that. And so I grab, like, the jack and the crowbar or whatever, and I have, like, a tire iron or... I don't know. I've never changed a tire. And I just start, like, jamming... Like, I just start banging it on like, the, the trunk or whatever. I just start doing this. And then the owner of the car is like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just fixing the tire. And I'm just banging the trunk. Like, and I'm just, like, I'm denting your car, and I'm just destroying it. And I just, like, throw the jack through the, through the back window. It cracks a little... and then I just like get on top of the car and just start jumping. That's basically what they don't know what they're doing. They're advocating for something and they literally have no idea what the fuck it is. It's like, if, you know, I'm playing like, you know, Mega Man, right? And someone like comes up to me, it's like, hey, I can beat that boss for you. And then I give them the controller and then they die 12 times in a row. It's like, I thought you could beat the boss. I thought you knew what you were doing. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know the rules. You know, like these people are fucking stupid. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I don't even know. Anyway, I hope this guy comes on the show. No one would have been... Riolon. Okay. Bacon on the curb, getting rusty. The rules were changed in the previous Congress. Only someone from the... So then it doesn't make any sense. So then the strategy is nothing then? What's poppin'? All-American Socialists? Catherine, you wanted to get into a leftist battle with me? How do you feel about forced to vote? I'm gonna get into this. Hello, Ally CIA? Yeah, Riolon, but that would never happen, though. Like, what incentive would everyone else have? And also, imagine if we didn't have a Speaker of the House on January 6th. Like, obviously, you know, you don't know what happens beforehand, but it's a stupid strategy regardless. And also, I'll have to fact check that. Anyway, let's get into this, folks. This is some pretty hefty stuff. Red COVID. This is a New York Times article. COVID's partisan pattern is growing more extreme. Now, folks, I'm going to be honest with you. The main reason why I'm covering this is because I want all of the anti-vaxxers to get it over with. It's like a Band-Aid. You just rip it right the fuck off. Go out there, go to your football games, and go fuck yourself. That's what I want to start this segment with saying, and I want to have the secondary be, get fucking vaccinated. I want you to either go to the circus every single day or get fucking vaccinated. Those are your options, right? Because I want to go outside. I want to go to a concert. I want to go to a bar. When I got my vaccine, I had my fall plans. I was like, I'm going to go there. I'm going to do this, right? And then guess what happened? Y'all dumb motherfuckers decided, I'm not going to take the vaccine. I'm going to keep the pandemic going for a little longer just to own the libs. Well, that's having a pretty deadly turn here. So we're seeing a situation where red states reliably are less vaccinated than blue states. Like, it's almost like a direct, like, the bluer the state, the more vaccinated percentage-wise it is. Right? Isn't that crazy? By the way, where's, like, North Carolina? I don't even know. Where is this? Where's North Carolina? Can you, like... You can't. It just doesn't even show you. That's incredible. COVID deaths in 2020 election vote shares. Look at this. I mean, look at this chart here. Those that voted for Donald Trump are dying. They're killing themselves for the cult of Trump. What the fuck is going on here? Like, imagine being such a goddamn loser that you literally get a virus and die, a preventable virus, because there's a free vaccine at Walgreens. You get a preventable disease and die, so that Donald Trump can... he's vaccinated. I don't even know what the fuck they're doing with this. I mean, it's bizarre. But if you look at Wyoming counties, you know, 80% of residents not fully vaccinated. And you know, it's just the more the Trump. I mean, every single it's incredible. There was a really good chart here as well. This one is the big one. It seems now again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems if you live in a Trump county, you are 4 times as likely to get COVID and die. Whoa! How is that possible? How is that possible, you may ask? Because Trump voters are fucking stupid. Republicans are fucking stupid, okay? That's how it's possible. These are the same dumb motherfuckers that spent years and years and years trying to ban rock music, trying to ban violent video games, trying to have God in our schools. These are the same dumb motherfuckers that didn't believe in climate change because it snowed outside. These are the same dumb motherfuckers who support trickle-down economics while they work a minimum wage job. These are the kind of dumb motherfuckers that vote for Republicans. They're dumb. They're shit for fucking brains. They don't know how to read books. They don't know how to use the internet. They don't know how to read. They don't know how to teach themselves, and they have no critical thinking skills. They're dumb motherfuckers. And now they're dying at 4 times the motherfucking rate because of their own dumbassery. They're dumb motherfuckers. These people don't know how to think for themselves. They only believe things that other people tell them, most notably Republicans. They don't actually think and look at the facts and think for themselves and come to a conclusion. Because if they were to have done that, they would take the motherfucking vaccine that 99% of scientists worldwide agree on is safe and effective for most people. Now again, there are actually some people that, because of their body's composition, cannot get the vaccine. I got vaccinated, and you should get vaccinated for their sake, because they don't deserve to be stuck inside all goddamn day, all goddamn month, and all goddamn year. We're going into year 3 of the COVID pandemic here, by the way. We're entering year 3 pretty soon here, and the immunocompromised do not deserve to be stuck inside because of your dumb ass. So go out, go to your football game, get COVID, and die. Or just get the fucking vaccine. Whichever one you want to choose. But guess what? I don't care. Just don't come near me. Don't come near my family. Don't go near to your grandparents' house. Just go to your bedroom, go to your basement, and die alone. Like the little fucking dumb fuck you are. I'm sick. I'm sick, motherfucker, of these motherfuckers. I'm sick of them. And there's all these anti-vaxxers on the left. Like, you know, these fucking weirdo, like, Nico House, COVID couch podcasters. Go fuck yourself as well. You're a dumbass. You're a loser. And the fact that y'all are trying to peddle that shit in left-wing spaces is embarrassing, and y'all should be ashamed of yourself. The same goes for Jimmy Dore and all those dumb motherfuckers. I hate them. I hope that they have the worst possible reaction to this pandemic. I hope that they suffer, because I'm suffering. We're all suffering because of their dumb fuck assholes. I'm gonna turn my AC off. I'm just so sick of them. I'm just so goddamn sick of them. The worst motherfuckers in the world. Well, let's read this. Why is this happening? Some of the vaccination gaps stem from the libertarian instincts of many Republicans. They understand freedom is being let alone, made their own goddamn. Like seriously though. They are killing themselves. It's a cult. They are drinking the Kool-Aid in the form of a viral pandemic disease. Think about that. If they still refuse the vaccine, a year from now, there won't be any Republicans left. Republicans will have gone from 20% of the country to 5%. And again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'll shed a tear, because I won't. If you vote for Republicans, if you are a conservative, you are an awful person already, by default. I don't respect you. I think you're a bad person. I think you're a stupid person. And I think you should go do your own research. And that actually means reading a book. That actually means getting news from multiple different kinds of sources. If you are a conservative in America in the year 2021, you're garbage. You're shit. And I don't care about you. I don't care if you die. And if you're going to go out there and be a serial killer in the form of transmitting a viral lethal disease, if that's going to be your job, that's what you feel like your calling is, to kill as many people as you can, it's self-defense at this point. Go fuck yourself. So anyway, red COVID, folks. Red COVID. I hope I'm not being too much. I'm towing the line, and I might be on the side of the line that I should not be on right now, but I'm high, so what are you gonna do? God damn, folks. God ass motherfucking damn. Hopefully y'all are enjoying the goddamn show. Today's a little, again, I would like to remind everyone, tomorrow I have court, so I will be doing a pre-taped show tomorrow morning. It'll probably, maybe I'll do it tonight, I don't know. It'll probably be around 30 minutes, maybe 40. And I'll do the protest recap, and I'll probably, just have a little fun. And I will be uploading the video. Will be pre-taped, but I'll be premiering it at 10. So, it'll be live at the regular time. So, feel free to come in and watch the show with the regular viewers. Pre-tape so sucks. Bitch, I'm gonna be in a fucking courtroom. What, do you want me to stream at 6 a.m. when no one can watch? Or do you want to watch the stream with everyone else and it's a fucking pre-tape? I don't know what the fuck. Pre-tape sucks. It sucks. Ah! What do you want from me? Alright, folks. This one hits close to home. North Carolina hospital system fires about 175 workers in one of the largest ever mass terminations due to a vaccine mandate. Good. If you are working in healthcare and you aren't vaccinated, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You're a bitch, you're a loser, and I hate you. So with that being said, let's read. A North Carolina-based hospital system announced Monday that roughly 175 unvaccinated employees were fired for failing to comply with the organization's mandatory coronavirus vaccination policy, the latest in a series of healthcare dismissals over coronavirus immunization. Novant Health said last week that 375 unvaccinated workers across 15 hospitals and 800 clinics had been suspended for not getting immunized. Unvaccinated employees were given 5 days to comply. So it seems about 200 of them complied. Novant Health spokeswoman Megan Rivers tweeted Monday that almost 200 of the suspended workers, including those who had submitted approval exemptions, received their first dose by Friday. The hospital confirmed that the rest of the suspended employees who did not comply were fired, although the exact number of those dismissed was not specified. We stand by our decision to make the vaccine mandatory as we have a responsibility to protect our patients, visitors, and team members regardless of where they are in our health system. We couldn't be prouder of our team members who made the choice to receive the COVID-19 vaccine and remain part of our team. If you are a healthcare worker and you don't want to get a vaccine, I question why you're in healthcare. If you're an anti-science, anti-medicine lunatic, why the fuck are you taking my blood pressure? Why the fuck are you monitoring my vitals? I don't know what the fuck they do. Why are you doing anything? If you don't believe in medicine, why are you giving me pills? If you don't believe in medicine, why are you putting needles in my arms? I don't want these quack lunatics to be working in healthcare. Good. Fuck them. Fuck them. Go mow my lawn. Go take out my trash. Go fucking, I don't know, like, make an arts and crafts store on Etsy for all I give a shit about. You are a goddamn loser. So I support this. I support vaccine mandates, especially in healthcare. The fact that they weren't fired 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago is ridiculous. The fact that healthcare workers and frontline healthcare workers weren't on the first to get vaccinated back in January, February, these motherfuckers should have been out 5 to 6 months ago. So about goddamn time, and good job to this. Get a new job, you dumb motherfucker. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps, bitch. All right, folks. There's a lot going on in the world. Let me tell you, there is a lot going on. A lot going on? I'm like... It's really hard for me to regulate my temperature right now. I don't know why. You're all gonna love this. Hold up. As cinema resists the budget bill, she is set to raise money from business groups that oppose it. This is from the New York Times, surprisingly. Also, what the fuck is this? Yes, Queen. Senator Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona, the inscrutable Democrat who may hold the key to passing her party's ambitious social policy, blah, 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 who cares, is scheduled to have a fundraiser on Tuesday afternoon with 5 business lobbying groups, many of which fiercely oppose the bill. Isn't that incredible? Under Miss Cinema's political logo, the influential National Association of Wholesaler Distributions and Grocers PAC, along with a lobbyist for roofers and electrical contracts and a small business group called the S Corp, Political Action Committee have invited association members to an undisclosed location on Tuesday afternoon for 45 minutes to write checks for between $1,000 and $5,800 payable to Cinema for Arizona. Full vaccinations for coronavirus will be... Oh, well, of course. Full vaccinate. Okay, great. The planned event comes during a make-or-break week for President Biden's agenda when House Democrats are trying to pass a $1 trillion infrastructure bill that Miss Cinema helped negotiate. They negotiated this motherfucking bill, came to a fucking agreement, and now Cinema is taking $5,800 from a bunch of rich boy motherfucking trust fund babies, and she's saying, whatever. Psych! Yeah, sure, let's pass this reconciliation package. Not! That's what she's doing because she thinks she's funny. She thinks she's cool. She's clever. And oh, I'm getting $750,000 from drug companies and fucking fossil fuel companies. Look at me. I'm Kyrsten Sinema. Oh, look, I'm bisexual. I just don't even understand this shit. In both positions, she is likely to find a receptive audience to the fundraiser. The S Corp PAC, for instance, has told its members the rate increases in the package that passed the House Ways and Means Committee would kneecap private companies. Oh, no. And this is in mainstream media. I just want to say, the New York Times is going out there saying, yeah, Kyrsten Sinema, she's corrupt. This is corruption. This is bribery, folks. I don't know what to tell you. She is literally getting money, right? In her hands. She is there, right? The paper is going from their hand to her hand. And then she's going to vote according to what they want for the money. This is bribery. This is corruption. Good old-fashioned. They would, not saying I endorse this, but they would, throw people in jail forever if they were found being corrupt in, the fucking 17th century and 18th century. They wouldn't fuck around. They fought a goddamn revolutionary war over corruption. And now, look, this is just, look at this. What is she gonna do next? Eat hot chips in the Senate? I don't understand, like, what is this? Look, what is this photo even? What is that on her ear? What is going on here, folks? I don't even understand. Why is she even... Oh, the senator! Again, I want to remind y'all, what the fuck is a senator? Like, okay, so we have these people that parade around and whatever the fuck that is, and they call, oh, I'm the senator. Yeah, alright, you're gonna give me $6,000, and I'm gonna do exactly what you are paying me to do, and I'm gonna call myself the senator. Yeah, that's right. I'm a senator. Look at me. Woo! What? You're a senator? What the hell does that mean? Are we doing like a fucking, like, Minecraft LARP? Like, are we, like, doing role-playing? Are we playing werewolf? Like, oh, you're a senator? What is that? Sorry, I don't understand what that is. Is this fucking ancient Rome? Like, oh yeah, I'm a senator. What do you fucking, were you appointed by the king? Like, what does that mean, bro? You're a senator. But no, they genuinely walk around like this and they call themselves senator. Oh, Mrs. Senator, Mr. Senator, who the fuck? What is a senator? I mean, again, anyone who respects the Senate as an institution, go fuck yourself. Anyone who supports this bitch, go fuck yourself. This bitch herself, go fuck yourself. I'm sick of this shit. And, I mean, again, this week is going to be some good content, let me tell you. Shit's about to get real. And the Democrats, I mean, where's Chuck Schumer on this? Where's fucking Chuck Schumer on this? Anywhere? I'm looking. Can't find the motherfucker, because he's useless garbage. They're all shit. Goddamn, folks. But you know what? I think it's very possible Nick Kirsten Cinema could get a new career. Folks! Clown shortage! Appeal for new recruits in Northern Ireland. That's right, folks. There is a clown shortage across the pond. Maybe a couple of these senators can go get a new job, because they certainly aren't doing the one that they've got right now. And you know what? Maybe they can actually provide for regular people. There's a lot more to being a clown than just putting on a big red nose and a big baggy pair of pants. That's right, folks. According to David Duffy, co-owner of Duffy's Circus, who is appealing for people from Northern Ireland to become clowns. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused a shortage of the performers as many return to their home countries when the first lockdown came into force in early 2020, according to Mr. Duffy. But what makes a good clown? Someone who's willing to make themselves vulnerable, says Noeline Fries Newman, known professionally as Silly Tilly. Not everyone likes to be laughed at, but for someone who is a clown, your worst nightmare would be to not be laughed at. Mrs. Fries Newman told the BBC's Good Morning Ulster programme. That's right, folks. There's a clown shortage across the goddamn motherfucking pond, right? We gotta help out. I'm a globalist. We need some international solidarity. So I say we chuck some of these goddamn Democratic senators over there and see what happens. You have to be able to poke fun at yourself. It's not about poking fun at other people. During lockdown, Mrs. Fries Newman and her husband, Henrik, who is also a clown known as Jarl, set up a big top circus tent in their garden, allowing them to continue to rehearse and perform. The couple first met at an international clown festival before having a clown-themed wedding in 2017. That seems like a little overboard. That would be like, I don't even know. But lockdown was hard for Mr. Duffy, and his circus has been closed for more than 500 days. It will soon be able to tour in Northern Ireland again following changes to COVID-19 restrictions. Yeah, reminder, Boris Johnson's a fucking goddamn moron. In the height of the Delta variant, running rampant across the goddamn country, right? I keep up with UK politics a little bit. Yeah, the Delta variant's not looking so good over there. They're just gonna lift everything. Yeah, fuck it. But again, how is this going to affect the clowns? This is really all I care about. But performers have been able to get work in other countries that have opened up more quickly. Really adaptable. In order to be a clown, Mr. Duffy says you have to be really, really adaptable and be able to think on your feet. I often think on my feet. All of my shows are improvised. When you go into the circus ring and you've got 700 to 800 people looking at you, no matter what sort of mood you're in, you have to light up that circus ring. You just got to. There's no other choice. A clown actually can be the loneliest place because you're in there on your own, and you have to be able to read your audience in a short couple of minutes. You have to be able to get a rapport going with them and interact and feed off of them. That's right, folks. We're feeding now. I'm a clown. Aspiring clowns will be performing a short piece during online auditions being held by Mr. Duffy as he tries to recruit a new team of performers. Maybe I should apply? Do you think they would fly me across the pond? Anyway, folks, we need more clowns. I don't know what else to tell you. This is of extreme, extreme importance. God damn. Man, you know what? Speaking of goddamn clowns, I want you to read this headline for yourself. The photo captioned, Donald Trump, Cats fan. Stephanie Grisham never held a press briefing during the nearly 10 months she served as President Trump's press secretary. But in her new book, I'll Take Your Questions Now, she's delivering what appears to be a pretty damn unvarnished account of her time in the White House. Folks, there's some good details in this one, let me tell you. In it, Grisham details a president who leered at female staffers, required live show tunes to calm his nerves, and who once called Grisham to defend his penis after it had been called into question by Stormy Daniels, the porn star with whom he allegedly had an affair. Yes, sir, Grisham writes of a reply, when Trump called her while aboard Air Force One to defend the size and shape of his penis. Daniels wrote in her 2018 book that Trump's penis was shaped like the mushroom character in Mario Kart. Folks, there is a lot going on in this article, but it gets better. Perhaps even more bizarre than the call to defend his penis in the revelation that Trump's aides designated a White House official known as the Music Man. That's right, folks. The Music Man, to calm the president's nerves by playing his favorite show tunes, including Memory from Cats. According to the New York Times, the Music Man is Max Miller, an ex-boyfriend of Grisham's who is running for office in Ohio with Trump's support. Politico reported on Miller's history of aggressive behavior this summer, including slapping Grisham. Great guy, Trump said of Miller at a rally in June. Not quite so amusing is Trump's taste for show tunes is his behavior toward women. Grisham writes that the president often invited a young press aide onto Air Force One to, quote, look at her, and that he instructed Grisham to keep her happy. Grisham also writes, during a rant in the Oval Office, Trump looked her in the eye and instructed her to deny any wrongdoing with regard to E. Jean Carroll, the journalist who in 2019 accused Trump of raping her in the 1990s. You just deny it. Grisham writes that he told her, according to the Times, that's what you do in every situation. Right, Stephanie? You just deny it, he repeated, emphasizing his words. Yo, there's so many scoops in here. I'm going to read the whole thing. I haven't read the whole thing. I just read the highlights, so let's keep going. Grisham also writes that Trump only acted tough toward Putin on the rare occasions that he did to placate the media. Trump told Putin as much during the 2019 G20 summit in Osaka, Japan. Okay, I'm going to act a little tougher with you for a few minutes, Grisham overheard Trump tell the Russian president. But it's for the cameras. And after they leave, we'll talk. You understand? He's playing a character on TV, folks. Who'da thunk? Reminder, how many people voted for this dumb motherfucker? Like 70 million or some shit. That's crazy. She also recalled a conversation during the same summit with Fiona Hill, the former National Security Council senior director for Russia, who later testified during Trump's impeachment hearing about how Putin may have been trying to manipulate Trump. Fiona Hill leaned over and asked me if I had noticed Putin's translator, who is a very attractive brunette woman with long hair, a pretty face, and a wonderful figure. Interesting way to describe her. Grisham writes, she proceeded to tell me that she suspected the women had been selected by Putin specifically to distract our president. Imagine we have a president so goddamn like, oh, pretty girl. All right, Putin, here you go. Like, I mean, like, what is the play there? Like, I mean, it's pretty good, though. I mean, like, this is some juicy shit. Trump, of course, has categorically denied everything in the book while bashing Grisham. Stephanie didn't have what it takes, and that was obvious from the beginning. Didn't have what did it take? What and how did like what? She had big problems, and we felt that we should work out those problems for herself. Now, like everyone else, she got paid by a radical left-leaning. I don't even. Grisham is clearly using her book to distance herself from Trump. Who cares? She's a bitch. Regardless of how disgusted Grisham may have been, I don't know. She still served for him, so who cares? But again, I mean, there's some really good details in here, folks. The Music Man. I don't even know what to say about that. That's pretty incredible. Also, imagine, like, being Trump and thinking that anyone was actually on your side. Like, of course, when your presidency was over, everyone was going to tell all because it pays. Why be paid by Donald Trump to break the law when you could get paid even more to just speak some truth, maybe make up a little bit, maybe embellish a little bit? You get even more money, and you're doing everything legally. I mean, it's a very clear choice. So Donald Trump is getting owned here. And also, I buy it. Why not? I mean, the Music Man. The Music Man. I just can't with that shit. The motherfucking goddamn Music Man. Folks, how is the goddamn today? Are y'all enjoying the show? Can I get some reviews, some live reviews? Mike K responds, yes. There you go. Realon responds, meh. Realon, what's your goddamn problem? You're not supposed to be honest and tell me my show sucks. You're supposed to be like, your show is so amazing, Andrea. You're really good at this. That's your role in this goddamn relationship here, buddy. Catherine Elizabeth says, vibingcat.gif. Not me, says dab emoji. Bob Carmody says, I haven't left. Smiling emoji, heart emoji. Sal Naran says, a light 6. Alice Leve says, best show ever. Myla Rasan says, did you see my super chat? Paladin Alexander Anderson says, I'm still here, so yeah. Realon says, raffle emoji, best shoe emoji. Alice Leve says, tremendous. Abner says, amazing. How's that? It's pretty good. Myla Rasan, $3. What Mike said, good luck in court tomorrow. Yes, I did see that earlier, but I'm high, so I forgot. Mekaleka he says, it's goddamn good. There you go. Some rave reviews. Folks, we have some criticism. We have some criticism, folks. I speak for me, a liberal, a Democrat, a sane person who believes in facts, reality, science, sustainability, and civil rights. I fight for a sustained future. This is Spry Old on Twitter, and they've got some criticism for me. In my tweet, where I tweeted my video with the headline, Queen of Cringe, Hillary Clinton gets heckled and booed at some thing she's at with a cape. And the spry old Lorax responds, sigh, she's not a queen of cringe. What's cringeworthy is the way the far left buys into the 30-year lie of anti-Hillary propaganda and then embarrasses themselves with all this booing nonsense. Real mature, real stupid, real self-defeating. And I respond with, you sound like a nerd. So that's the update, folks. We respond to criticism on this show. I don't know what to tell you. Alright, what else we got? As an online consumer and small business owner, this news strikes close to home, folks. USPS mail delivery is about to get permanently slower and temporarily more expensive. What? So, folks, I would like to remind everyone, look at the date. Look at your calendar. Look at your phone. Let's all do it together. Okay. So it's September 19th. Joe Biden has been president since September 29th, actually. I'm stupid. Joe Biden has been president since January 20th. Somehow, Louis DeJoy is still the Postmaster General. Is Joe Biden a dumb fuck motherfucker? Is he a goddamn stupid ass bitch? Is he a demented piece of human garbage? I don't know. But either way, those are the facts as they've been laid out. Americans who have been frustrated with the slow service of the U.S. Postal Service since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic probably won't be thrilled to hear this. The service is about to get even slower starting Friday. The Postal Service will implement new service standards for first-class mail and periodicals. Spokeswoman Kim Frum said in an email to USA Today, the changes mean an increased time in transit for mail traveling long distances, such as from New York to California. Frum said that that most first-class mail, 61%, and periodicals, 93%, will be unaffected by the changes. Single-piece first-class mail traveling within the same region will still have a delivery time of 2 days. The Postal Service defines first-class mail as standard-sized letters and flats. Frum said that's different from first-class packages, which are typically used for shipping smaller, lightweight packages. Currently, first-class mail and first-class packages have the same delivery standards, but that will change beginning Friday. The changes to service standard times are part of the Postal Service's 10-year strategic plan, which was announced by Postmaster General Louis DeJoy in March, 2 months after Joe Biden assumed the office of president. Trump's crony announced this policy. DeJoy took his position in June 2020 despite no previous Postal Service experience. The position of Postmaster General is not appointed or nominated by a president, but rather appointed by the independent Postal Service Board of Governors. The Postal Service has been riddled by financial problems for years because Republicans have been slashing it for years. They've been destroying it for years. They've been putting unfucking believable standards on it for years. They've been trying to destroy the USPS, one of the best mail institutions in the world. Or at least it was. They're trying to destroy it so that companies like Amazon and UPS and FedEx can get a higher market share and make more money. It's ridiculous. The Postal Service has been riddled, I already read that, by making this change. From said the Postal Service can entrust its ground network to deliver more first-class mail, which will lead to great consistency, reliability, and efficiency that benefits its customers, whether it's 300 miles or 3,000 miles, the current standard, blah, blah, blah. Additionally, starting October 3rd through December 26th, the Postal Service will temporarily increase prices on all commercial and retail domestic packages because of the holiday season. An increase in mail volume. Those price increases will not affect international products. Again, they're trying to destroy the USPS. Now, again, it's not, the Postmaster General is not appointed by the president, but the Board of Governors can be, I don't know the exact thing, but I know Congress and that the president have power in the independent Board of Governors, right? Which then appoint the Postmaster General. So the changes can be made to get Louis DeJoy out of there. Also, you could just demand his resignation. You could strong arm him. I'm sure there's some dirt you could dig up on the motherfucker. Play hardball, because this motherfucker is trying to destroy the USPS, and this guy is in the pocket of private mail companies, like, again, UPS and FedEx. This guy, that's their boy. They had no USPS experience, but they're connected to these private companies, and they're connected to the crony squad of Donald Trump and Joe Biden and Democratic Congress. They're just chilling. They're not even bringing up the issue. They don't give a shit. Fuck them. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Democrats. I mean, fuck Republicans for putting them there in the first place. But, man, this is a giant disaster, folks. This just came out. Let's cover this. YouTube bans all anti-vaccine misinformation. Published 1 hour ago. Now, obviously, I am a supporter of vaccines. I think you need to get vaccinated, folks. If you don't get vaccinated, you're a dumb motherfucker. If you peddle this stupid-ass disinformation garbage, you're a dumb motherfucker. And I can't wait to see you get owned. Now, my only problem with these policies is there are always people that aren't actually breaking the policy, but for whatever reason, the algorithm interprets it that way, and they get caught in the crossfire here. It's happened to me several times. Back when the pandemic started, I made a couple of videos with just giving information about hospital statuses and pandemic information, and I got a couple of videos flagged for medical misinformation when I was reading CNN articles and WHO articles. That didn't matter because for whatever reason, the algorithm interpreted my language in a way that made it look like I was peddling disinformation. So that's what my main problem with this is the enforcement. I know they over-enforce and there's a lot of crossfire. That being said, I do think getting rid of some of these bigger channels is a good move. That's my opinion. I would rather just get rid of all the bigger channels, right? And get rid of all, like, content ID their videos so that people cannot mirror them and all that kind of stuff. That is what I support. But again, they really need to work on the enforcement process. And that's my huge problem with this, right? But let's read. YouTube said on Wednesday that it was banning several prominent anti-vaccine activists from its platform. Good. Including the accounts of Joseph Mercola and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Good. As a part of the effort to remove all content that falsely claims that approved vaccines are dangerous. Good. Bye-bye, Jimmy Dore. In a blog post, YouTube said that it would remove videos claiming that vaccines do not reduce transmission or contraction of disease. And the content that includes misinformation on the contents of the vaccines claims that approved vaccines cause autism, cancer, or infertility, or that the vaccines contain trackers will also be removed. So this is not just for COVID, but the vaccines cause autism, which Donald Trump believes, remember many such cases, that will also be removed, that kind of stuff as well. Also, again, who cares if vaccines cause autism? Are you saying autism is bad? Sorry, it's not. The platform, which is owned by Google, had a very similar ban on misinformation about the COVID-19 vaccines, but the new policy expands the rules to misleading claims about approved vaccines, such as those against measles and hepatitis B, as well as to falsehoods about vaccines in general. YouTube said personal testimonies relating to vaccines, content about vaccine policies, and new vaccine trials and historical videos about vaccine success or failures will be allowed to remain on the site. Again, I am very concerned with how they're going to enforce this, and whether, because again, it's mostly algorithmically, so I hope I don't get caught in this one. Obviously, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. And I do support this policy if it's enforced accurately, which I am very skeptical of. But also, again, getting rid of these big accounts, that's only going to be a net positive. It really, the people that don't believe in vaccines, they're going to become smaller and smaller and smaller. You can't, like, banning these channels does not stop everyone that, like, it's not like, oh, they banned Robert F. Kennedy, I guess I believe in vaccines now. That's not really what it does. But what it does is it prevents new people from falling down into these rabbit holes. Because that's what these things do, is they prey on people that, you know, may have like a leaning toward a certain opinion. Maybe they're a little hesitant, they don't like needles. I don't like needles, but I still got my vaccine on day one, motherfucker. Just do it already, right? But maybe they don't like needles, maybe they're trying to find, and they stumble upon this shit and then they fall down the rabbit hole. So it prevents the growth of the cancerous tumor that we call anti-vaxxers. And so that's the big thing. And it, again, it might help some people get out of it, but really it's preventing the growth. We need some chemotherapy on these motherfuckers. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. But again, I just hope that the enforcement doesn't fuck up. And also, I hope that they enforce this on politicians. I hope they enforce this on Fox News. I hope Tucker Carlson and Fox News get banned. They won't be, though. I guarantee it. But either way, we'll see how this plays out. This is breaking news, folks. This has been the breaking news segment of the show. I should do this more. Should cover breaking news instead of covering news that's like 4 days old. Yeah, I saw this video about 3 months ago. I'm gonna talk about it now. I should do more breaking news. This is cool. You heard it here first, folks. Just looking at Google News, I'm saying what's going on. Hurricane Sam and Hurricane Victor. Uh-oh. Ooh, man, I'm really stretching my back right now and it feels good. Hinkle cringe, not today. I can't do it today. Just can't. I won't. Hell yes. This is good. I like this. Alright. Max, settle the fuck down, dog. Max is... He's having a real one. Alright. So, folks. Does anyone remember Pizza Day? I don't, because my childhood sucked. But let's read. A principal at a Philadelphia elementary school ordered pizza for 400 students after food service staff didn't show up, with the school district citing a staff shortage. Now, obviously, I don't support the pepperoni, but, get some mushrooms on there. Get some jalapenos, maybe. Get those kids into some spice. Let's get it. A principal at an elementary school in Philadelphia bought pizza for 400 students after food services staff didn't show up. Thank you for reiterating what was in the headline. So, Mitchell, Elementary School sent a letter to parents and guardians on September 23rd saying that food services staff from the school district of Philadelphia did not report to Mitchell to serve food during breakfast or lunch. When contacted by Insider, a spokesperson for the school district said it was in short staff on that day and cited the nationwide supply chain and labor shortages. Yeah, by the way, the economy is falling apart. We're all going to die soon because the global supply chain is going to destroy itself. And I hope you know how to grow your own food. But let's keep reading. The school district offers breakfast and lunch to all pupils for free. The Philadelphia Inquirer reported that some students rely on the free meals, and almost all the students at Mitchell Elementary are considered economically disadvantaged. In a letter to parents and guardians, Stephanie Andrulevich, the school's principal, said, "As soon as the stores opened, I ordered pizza for 400 students to attempt the lunch service." Photos of the letter were shared on social media, including 6 ABCs. Let me look at this. Let me see some of these photos. Oh, that's a letter. Right. I want to see the pizza. The U.S. is suffering from huge labor shortage as people leave low-paying jobs for roles with better wages, benefits, and hours. Also, 700,000 people died, but hey, whatever. As a result, schools across the U.S. have been struggling to find enough staff, including bus drivers and teachers. Andrew Levitch said that some school staff, including teachers, were pulled from their roles to support the lunchroom, order pizza, and buy juice and water from stores. There you go. By 2:15, not all students had eaten. Andrew Levitch said she added the students from grades 3 to 8 hadn't received breakfast because of lack of staff. Man, these, you know, it's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. Anyway, that's cool. I always loved Pizza Day, but I never had Pizza Day. My only experience of Pizza Day was watching cartoons and television shows because my childhood was awful, and I don't want to talk about it. But I don't think schools should be open, by the way. I just want to put that, you know, out there. That needs to be out there. But I'm glad that they just took initiative. I just spat all over my goddamn desk. But I'm glad they took initiative and actually did something good for once, because we see a lot of these stories where, like, you know, Republican school districts are banning all food from school, and it's a giant disaster. But, you know, what are you going to do? Bada boo. In my school in Philadelphia. There you go. Alright, folks. I am gonna stop the show. That's right, folks. The show's over. I hope y'all enjoyed today's program. Tomorrow, again, I want to reiterate, tomorrow I am going to be trapped in a courtroom for a long time. So, I'm going to be doing a pre-tape show either tonight or tomorrow morning, and I'm going to air it at the same time. But again, it's going to be a pre-tape show, but you can still come in the live chat. That will still be there, so you can experience the show together. Longer shows when? This is a longer show. You get an extra 20 minutes out of my bitch ass. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Thank you all for watching. I do appreciate it. Share, you know, share the content, you know, post it on Twitter, retweet me, you know, text your mom, say, hey, look at this video I found. It's really good. I don't have a mom. My mom's dead, so I can't text my mom about my video. So, you know, use that to your advantage. Spook 5 QR when, assuming I am not in jail, that will be starting October 1st. So, there you go. But I could be in jail. It's very possible. Who knows? Realon, 70s R's. Good luck. Maxie. We got the dog here, folks. Look at this goddamn dog. Look at this creature. Look at this creature. Max. Are you saying hello to the stream? Look at this dog. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna ugly cry. I just love him so much. Doggy. Anyway, folks.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes.
Person in my office in Philadelphia should be in person in my office in Philadelphia, in person in my office in Philadelphia.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. And he's like this, and we were, I need water. Help me. I need water. Help.